Kentucky Spin presents Behavior Intervention Plan. The Behavior Intervention Plan, also known as BIP, is a formal written plan developed by the Admissions and Release Committee or ARC team for students with an IEP to prevent or stop behaviors that interfere with school. Data and information gathered from the student's Functional Behavior Assessment, or FBA, will be critical in the BIP development. If the student has not had an FBA, consider doing that before you develop the BIP. The BIP process overview. Begin with student information, then the behavior. Next, the function of the behavior, followed by the antecedents or trigger. Next are the consequences, then replacement behavior. Next, positive proactive teaching strategies and reinforcements. Next up is strategies to avoid, followed by positive behavior. Then explore supports for school personnel, followed by accommodations and modifications for the child. Explore if a crisis or safety plan is needed. Finally, progress monitoring. Let's explore each step a little further. Student information starts us off in the BIP process. Knowing and planning with the child's strengths and interests are a critical part of developing a plan. What does the student like to do or enjoy doing? What does the student like to talk about, read about, draw about, write about, or play with? Who are important people in the student's life in and out of school? What consequences, positive or negative, have worked to increase positive behavior? What tangibles or rewards have been effectively used in the past to work with the student? Behavior. What are the concerning behaviors? Define the behavior of concern in measurable, observable, and objective terms. What is the intensity level of the behavior of concern? How often and where does the behavior occur? It is also important to know when and where the behavior does not occur. The function of the behavior. What need is the behavior serving? Is the behavior to access or gain something, or to escape or avoid something? The antecedents or triggers. What events are happening prior to the behavior occurring? What might have triggered the behavior? The consequences. What will happen when the behavior occurs? What occurs immediately following the behavior? Replacement behaviors. What the student should do instead of the current behavior. In this example, when the noise became too overwhelming, she put headphones on, or she could have stepped away or used calming techniques. Let's explore positive proactive teaching strategies and reinforcements. What instructional or environmental factors are impacting the behavior? Some positive strategies and reinforcements might be modeling, giving choices, give expectations, and use praise. Strategies to avoid. It is just as important to know what strategies to avoid as it is to know positive strategies to use, things that are known to be unsuccessful and should not be used. Does the child have certain triggers? Let's make sure the strategies we use do not have any of those. Positive behavior. What rewards or tangibles will the student receive for appropriate behavior? We need to make sure the reward is meaningful to them. Supports for school personnel. What supports or training do staff need to implement the BIP? Accommodations and modifications for the child. What accommodations and/or modifications does the student need to be successful with their BIP? Some examples might be cues or chunking information. These need to be individualized based on their needs. Crisis or safety plan. This may be needed if the student's behavior endangers themselves or others. This will help everyone know what to do if the dangerous behavior occurs. Are there triggers, trauma, or warning signs we can look for to know the behavior is likely to come? A plan is critical to keep everyone safe. Some students may elope, also referred to as a runner. What security and safety precautions are we putting in place so it does not occur? And if they elope, an immediate plan put in place to resolve it as safely as possible. Progress monitoring. How will you gauge if the BIP is working? Will it be through daily checklist, point sheet, or communication log? The progress monitoring data will be important in keeping an eye on what does and does not work. It may also be a great indicator on if the BIP needs adjusted or updated. Download our BIP worksheet in preparation for your ARC meeting. Complete as much detail as possible to share with the team to help develop the BIP. Your input is critical in its development. Thank you for joining us. To learn more, visit our website at www.kyspin.com.